Hello and welcome to Ready, Set, Go Fish Keeping. Today I'm going to make some improvements on a Fluval 307 filter. I've been running it mostly in its stock implementation, but now I have some things I want to try with it. So hopefully it improves the clarity of the water, and with any luck it will let me go a little bit longer between water changes. So just to get into it here, I've taken the filter apart. So first step is I filled up a 5-gallon bucket, most of the way full. I siphoned water from the tank into the bucket. The next step is you take the lid off of the filter, bring just the body of the filter nearby the bucket, take this whole assembly out, put it in the water, let it remain submerged in there. The next step that I do is I take these filters and I take them out one by one, and in this very same filter housing, it's still full of water, I just take all the muck and scrape it all out in there. Wring them out multiple times until the water is just filthy. So that way everything stays basically wet the whole time. You don't risk losing your cycle, and it basically cleans it up. So here, I'm going to walk through just a minute the different stages we have. So the way the water flows into this filter, it comes in and it goes through. Stage number one is it goes through these blue sponges. You want the bumpy sides out. And then it passes through this side. This is a little bit finer sponge. This is like a medium, maybe 30 ppi or something. And then it starts at the bottom of these baskets and it goes up. So your first stage, second stage, and this is your third and final stage. So the way I have set this up today, I'll show you in order. I've got it so full of media that it doesn't even want to come apart now. That's a good thing. All right, so I'm basically keeping this one standard Fluval implementation. So this is a finishing sponge. I think this is around 40 ppi. I also take these things and clean them out right in this bucket here. So all the sponges are getting wringed out pretty good. They all stay wet. Then I take it and put it back in the bucket. The next stage is the ceramic rings. And these just have a ton of surface area on them. It doesn't slow flow down or anything. This is a great place for the bacteria that processes ammonia and nitrites. So these are the ones that I got out of the box, plus I have some more that I bought that I think they're underneath these. But this is as full as I can get it. And the last stage, which is the one I'm most excited about today because this is new media that I have. This media is Eheim Substrate Pro. And this stuff is actually made from sand, and they form it into these balls. And evidently it has a much slower flow rate through it. So the idea is that when you have a dense collection of this media, there's little areas where the water is perfectly still inside these balls, and it creates an anaerobic environment. So I guess more in the center of this mass of pellets, it creates an anaerobic environment, and there, what they say is that denitrifying bacteria can survive, and they can actually take nitrates out of your aquarium. So if that's the case, that would make it so that you could go longer between water changes, because the main goal of water changing is to get rid of the nitrates in your water. So we shall see. And I have these I can't tell you exactly how much is in here because I got a lot of this media and I'm doing other filters too, but it is filled up. Oh, I guess I didn't seal it very well. And underneath this guy, I have a polishing pad, which is also a new addition today. So we shall see if that improves I've got some kind of nasty stuff floating around in the water sometimes. Just a little bit of, specks in the water, and it's not always what you want to look at. I don't think it's hurting the fish, but one more layer of mechanical filtration right at the end, I'm hoping that takes care of this issue for me. All right, so I cleaned up all the spilled media. I'm just gonna show you these little guys. This is just filter polishing pad. And I basically laid the filter out on a countertop, put this guy on the corner of it, and traced this shape. Cut the whole thing out, and then I just cut it right in half. And that actually makes it so these pieces are a tiny bit large, and they fit perfectly in here. There's no way for the water to escape around them, because water will go where the easiest path of resistance is. So it's like a nice little seal right in there. And now I'm taking these bags and putting them directly on top. So I'm hoping that holds this down perfectly, and it's really going to add a new level of mechanical filtration and pump out some crystal clean water. So next I'm going to dump out this nasty water here and assemble the filter, and we'll start it back up. Okay, the filter's back on. So one thing that I do in my process, when you clean the filter, you're likely to get a bunch of big particles floating around. So what I actually do is I turn it on for a minute, and then I turn it off. And I'm just gonna let it sit here for another 20 minutes or so, and then I'll do another gravel vacuuming, and all of this stuff will be right on the surface of the gravel, and it comes up super easy. So if you're doing all the work, you might as well leave it super clean. So I hope that was useful for everybody. And honestly, I hope that it makes a big difference in my tank too. I'll let you know if there's any denitrifying effect, or if those polishing pads clean up the quality of the water. Hopefully the next time you see this tank, it is sparkling clean.